Well, hello there and welcome to my workshop. No, unfortunately the guitar is not finished just yet. It's really close. Carolyn is having quite a job with the artwork on this guitar because the wood is soaking up the paint. It's taking quite a while to get the coverage that she wants, and she's having to let it dry. She's using acrylics on it, so she's having to let it dry between coats, so it's taking quite a while, but I can tell you what, it's looking absolutely fantastic. So please stay with us. I've actually got some more work to do because I've got to fit the nut and I've got to do the truss rod cover. So yeah, I'm not sitting around, and I'm also been working on the music because my final video is going to be a complete production. This is going to be a fusion of guitar making and fine art put to music, a sort of concept album if you like, and it's going to be called The Fireflower, which I think you'll see why when you see the video. So I do hope you hang on for that. Shouldn't be too long. Anyway, I'm going to get on with doing the truss rod cover. Whew. Not sure how we're going to do this. Now I have to be perfectly honest with you. The knob that you saw me make in the last video, this one here, is not going to be used on the guitar because I wasn't entirely happy with it. So I made another one. Now I actually had it in my mind that I needed two controls on this guitar, but in actual fact I don't. I'm just going to use one volume control, but it's got a push-pull so I can split the coils. And so I made two of these little shell inlays. So I thought, given that I've got a spare one, I could use this on the truss rod cover. So I sketched out what I think is a petal shape based on the illustration that Carolyn did for the back of the neck, and I've come up with this sort of a petal shape truss rod cover, and I thought that this shell would fit really nicely just in the centre there. So I'm going to have a go at doing that. Now you may have noticed a slight pause then, and that's because I just realised that I'm going to have to fit a string tree on this guitar because of the headstock angle. It's not enough, so that's going to have to fit somewhere around there. I've actually got a base nut there, which is rather silly. Let's get a proper nut. This'll do. I'll just use this old one for just to get an idea of where the strings are going to be. Yeah, so that's going to have to fit there, and the string tree is going to have to go somewhere around there. Let's follow the angle up there. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be rather interesting. As always give myself a bit of a difficult job, but never mind, we will get round this problem. Now I think I'm only going to have to fit one of these little string trees just for the bass strings. I know this isn't very scientific, but that's roughly where the string's going to hit that one, and roughly where the string's going to hit that one. But I think the D string is probably going to be okay. I think there's perhaps enough on there to pull it down. I just need to make sure then that this truss rod cover has a spot that allows me to attach this string tree, and at the moment it's going to go straight over the edge of that. So let's see if we can just adjust that a little. I've got some leeway, so a bit of artistic interpretation here is required. A petal distorted by the wind, perhaps, I don't know. Okay, cut that out. Yeah, I think that would probably do it. I might just smooth the corners off a little bit once I've cut it out of the wood. Now, I was sort of thinking of using a Vancol for this, but I think it might clash with the fretboard, so I think the best option is to use some of that rosewood, the Brazilian rosewood or Santos rosewood. I've got something there which is at the end of a fretboard, got a nice piece there, so just see if any of those are any good. Oh, there we are, that's the bit I need. That bit there is quite a nice piece and it's sort of in a convenient area as well, so I'll use that. Just give me a rough idea where I'm going to cut it to. Well, that was all very good. I set the camera up beautifully to film that and then forgot to switch the camera on, so you missed that, but I'm sure you didn't miss much. Well, that looks reasonably good. Bit of dust and glue just to fill in some of the gaps, but yeah, seems to be working okay. And you'll notice that I've actually modified my my jig for the Dremel. I've stuck 2 pieces of aluminium on the bottom to make the base a little bit bigger, and also this has created a ridge now, so that when I put my binding cutter fitting on, this bit here, it will actually lock in place in that slot. So yeah, quite pleased with that now. If you missed the video where I talked about this jig, please go and have a look at the previous video. I'll put a link somewhere up there and down in the description. Right, I think it's time for a cup of tea. I've packed that with some dust and glue, so I shall leave that to dry. Okay, I'm going to make the nut, and I'm using this hard white plastic that I've got. My great friend Dal gave me a block of this a while back, and it's smashing for guitar nuts, and I've no idea what the material is, but it does the job. I'm going to fit it in between the binding, so I'm going to have to chisel a bit out there, and I just need to adjust the length. That looks okay. I just want to carefully remove just as, I don't know, a couple of mil in that little slot there, without touching the binding if I can help it, just to sink the nut in. I think I'll do this side first and then turn it round. I must say I'm terrible for copying people's ideas. I saw Ben Crow using something like this on his channel, and I understand Crimson make these now. I thought I could have a go at making one myself, and so what I did, I bought a bit of brass rod, cut it in that sort of section there, put a threaded rod in the middle of it and screwed the two together so it sort of holds it into this piece of wood, and well, it does the job. I think making your own tools is very satisfying actually at the end of the day. You know, they may not be quite as good as the professional versions, but you know, if they do the job, well, that's all that matters. Okay, that's a nice fit. I need to just get the height of the nut. Got my half pencil, and I'll push the nut in and just score a line. Okay, so the string height needs to be around there. I need to take quite a bit off the top of this, so I'm going to do it on the belt sander. Now this is going to be interesting because I've got to get it really thin, but obviously I don't want to go too thin because I'm going to come through to the shell. So I'm just going to have to do it step by step. Before I go any further, I'm just going to cut this to size, because in actual fact I don't want that going right up to the fretboard there. So I'll pull it back a little bit, and I can also just adjust its positioning a little bit to make it look a little bit better. I think it's going to look nice like that. So just mark, make sure I've covered everything. Yeah. So I think we're going to mark it there and there. You'll notice there's nothing really planned about my guitar making. It sort of really is a question of make it up as you go along. But I think that's part of the fun. It does mean that you have to tackle more problems, of course. There we go. Here we go. So that will go in there, and that will go there. Okay, a little bit more shaping to do. Phew, that needed a bit of crafty sanding on the belt sander to get that to lie flat. It's not absolutely flat, but I think if I can screw it down in a couple of places, sort of there and there, then it'll look okay. Well, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for stopping by. I know it's a bit of a short video and another extra one, but we are moving closer to finishing this guitar. And well, I just hope the final video will be worth it. A lot of effort going into it. Anyway, so now I have the nut cut. Obviously I've got to put the slots in, and I've got the truss rod cover on there. Whoa! quite pleased with this. Thank you very much again for watching, and please don't forget to leave a comment or ask a question, or give me a bit of criticism. I do appreciate it. And well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.